Sunday night on the 8 o'clock movie, a boxer dies by mistake, then gets another chance.
Cremated. Oh, dear me.
As if I promise you we'll keep looking until we find the body you like. Now that's fair enough, isn't it?
Here comes Mr. Jordan. Sunday night's 8 o'clock movie on TV 44.
The longest distance between two Northern California Honda dealers is 113 miles, easily driven in a Civic CRX on less than 2 gallons of gas. The most comfortable distance around all 25 Bay Area Honda dealers is an effortless ride in the Honda Accord. From north to south, east to west, try the rapid transit of the Prelude. The fast lane has never been more fun. Honda makes it simple. Your Northern California Honda dealers, complete service keeps it simple.
5 years ago, a family of wines came along that completely changed the American wine business. Its name was Taylor California Cellars, and it gave America something it didn't have. Wines of extraordinary quality at an affordable price. Wine expert after wine expert has recognized that quality. And today, millions of people, drinkers of Inglenook, Almaden, and other California wines, are drinking Taylor California Cellars. Are they better wines? Judge for yourself.
There are several reasons why Camino Camper continues to be the Northwest's #1 year-round RV center. First of all, the tremendous new and used motorhome selection. Camino Camper has a motorhome to fit just about every need and every budget. Then there's the quality. Now, this is a new 1984 Eldorado 25-foot motorhome, completely self-contained with many extras for only $24,911. And they have many to choose from at that price, too. So remember, for the best in quality, selection, and value, remember the folks at Camino Camper in San Jose and Reno.
There may be one in your house, a room you may not want anyone to enter because of the floor, hideous and worn out.
Replace it now at Conklin Brothers. For every 4 yards of Congolium, you get 1 yard free. And you'll also get a free Super Saver book with $2,500 of discounts on name brand products for your home. So turn a hideous nightmare into a beautiful new floor at Conklin Brothers. Sale ends April 30th.
Monday night on the 8 o'clock movie, John Wayne battles his way across the Rio Grande.
The War Department promised me 180 men. They sent me 18 all told.
I want you to cross the Rio Grande.
Rio Grande, Monday night's 8 o'clock movie on TV 44. You've been watching Shock Theater. Be here next Saturday at 11 for 5 Million Years to Earth, starring Andrew Kyer. It's time now to say goodnight, and thanks for watching TV 44. Have a nice Easter.
You can be sure that you're growing old gracefully when everything is paid for. You can be sure you're growing old gracefully when you've reached the metallic age. You know, gold in your teeth, silver in your hair, and lead in your pants. You can be sure you're growing old gracefully when you can remember when your wife said, "You're only interested in one thing," and now you can't remember what that one thing was. You can be sure you're growing old gracefully when your legs buckle, but your belt won't. Or when your wife tells you to pull in your stomach and you already have. And when the only thing you can really sink your teeth into is a glass of water. And when you consider weightlifting just getting up on your feet. You can be sure that you're growing old gracefully when you can remember when boobs referred to the dumbest kids in the class. You can be sure you're growing old gracefully when you play a slot machine in Las Vegas and instead of cherries, 3 prunes come up. You can be sure you're growing old gracefully if you knew you were going to live this long, you would have taken better care of yourself. You can be sure you're growing old gracefully when your back goes out more than you do. And when you can remember when it took longer to fly across the country than it did to get to the airport. You acknowledge middle age, and you have more middle than age. And the candles on your birthday cake set off the smoke alarm. And you can remember when radios plugged into the wall and toothbrushes didn't. You can be sure you're growing old gracefully when you wake up each day with a daily dozen and go to bed each night with a daily doesn't. And you can be sure you're growing old gracefully when you can recall when shopping on time meant getting to the store before it closed. And you feel that being 55 is like driving 55. Everybody seems to be passing you by. And you remember when it costs more to buy a car than to park it. And, of course, you know you're growing old gracefully when you're comfortable with God. I was reflecting on growing up and growing old the other day. Have you noticed everything is so much farther away than it used to be? I mean, it's twice as far to the corner, and they've added a hill, I've noticed. I've given up running for the bus as it leaves faster than it used to. It seems to me they're making stairs steeper than they used to in the old days. And have you noticed the smaller print they now use in the newspaper? There's no sense asking anyone to read aloud. Everyone talks so softly you can hardly hear them. And material in dresses and pants is so skimpy now, especially around the waist and hips. It's almost impossible to reach your shoelaces. I've noticed that basketball courts and tennis courts and shopping malls are uphill both ways. Even people are changing. They're so much younger than they used to be when I was their age. On the other hand, people my own age are so much older than I am. I ran into an old classmate the other day, and he'd aged so much he didn't even recognize me. Well, I got to thinking about the poor guy while I was combing my hair this morning, and in doing so, I glanced at my own reflection. Confound it, they don't make good mirrors like they used to either. May this be for you a year of growing in wisdom, growing in age, growing in grace before God and others, with love and growing.
This concludes our programming for today. We welcome any comments you may have regarding our programming. Kbhk TV Channel 44 is located at 420 Taylor Street, San Francisco, with our transmitter atop Mount Sutro. Kbhk TV is a member of the Association of Independent Television Stations. TV 44 is owned and operated by UTV of San Francisco, Inc. Some of today's programming has been mechanically reproduced. TV 44 wishes you a pleasant good night and good morning. And now, our national anthem.